Okay, now can you tell me what it is written on over the slide?
System concepts, computer as a closed system.
Okay, fine. Now we'll start with computer as a closed system. We know basically the what is closed system, what is open system from the thermodynamic point of view, and we have seen the as a business model, as a business system, what is closed system and open system. Then today we are going to take up one example. This topic is directly hitting your syllabus, computer as a closed system. So what is computer we know, and computer itself is a closed system, that also we know. Computer can process the data, pictures, sounds, graphics, many things computer is dealing with. Although what we are managing our lecture over computer itself, so it's a boon for us in today's scenario. But side by side, it is also, you know, it may create havoc if you go to the unnecessary things over the computer. Like many of the seniors used to say, आजकल के बच्चे को सब पता है क्योंकि गूगल उसके पास है. That's pretty perfect and ideal. But practically, if you see, computer and Google carries many things. But what is useful to that person? It's very unfortunate that people used to, gather the things which are pretty unuseful to them, and that's why this technology, especially for Indians, because in India's youth percentage, if you see all across the world, if you compare, so it is quite high. And this technology, वो हमने बचपन में वो पढ़ा है ना ऐसे, विज्ञान एक क्या कहते हैं, वरदान एवं अभिशाप. So this is a kind of a science. If you use it on the positive end, then it will be a vardhan. It will be really pious for us. And if we use it for self attainment and वैसी चीज जो हमारे काम की नहीं है, then it will be a abhishap as well. Okay, leave it. So this computer helps us a lot in many ways. They can solve highly complicated problems quickly and accurately. We know that. Also, computer also performs basic 5 major operations or functions, which is irrespective of the size and make. Now, what these are? These are the acceptance of the data and instruction through the way of input. It also stores data. Yes, it has storage capacity. And nowadays, when we used to pick the computer system, we used to take care of how much storage system we are going to have. So this is again a point. It can process data as required by the user. Yes, because it is purely working on the instructions of user, whomsoever is using it. So it gives results in the form of output. It gives results in the form of output. Yes, the way we need those results, whether it is graphical, text, or analytical, numerical, whatever form we need, it will give results, but as per the inputs given by the end user. It also controls all the operations inside a computer. Yes, it can control all the operations, whatever we use to give, it will process and give us the desired results, or not exactly desired results, desired form of results. Now let us have the flow diagram. This is the flow diagram of basic computer operations. Now this is the program data. Program data. If we give some input over here, then it will give to storage unit, and from that storage unit, simply if we see, this is the basic program, and this is the basic functions, I can say. The input, then it gives the storage unit, it will have some processing, and there it will give the results. Now this process system will be having three things attached to it. This processing will happen at central processing unit. Now central processing unit has three units in it, that is control unit, arithmetic logic unit, and what three units? Arithmetic logic unit, control unit, and the central processing unit. Okay, so these are the three things where uh, by and through which this operations processing or operations going to take place, and will get the desired form of output and in the form of results. Okay, now first of all, let us see what are these this was the this thing I was talking about. This is the main this is the main uh, process input, then it will do some processing over here. Uh, this unit is complete unit one, and after this it will go the results, or I should say the desired results in the output form. Okay, so it has three things: control unit, arithmetic logic unit, and central processing unit. By using these all, the input will be analyzed and uh, will perform the operation as per the input given, and will get the desired form of output as a result. Now, now let us see what are the basic computer operations we were talking about using this uh, basic flow diagram. This basic flow diagram is, first it has input. Now what is input? This is the process of entering data and programs in the computer system. Normally what we used to do it, already our computer must have certain programs in it, or if we don't have, then we'll put some programs, and then we'll give some data to the computer to process using those programs. Now we know that computer basically is an electronic machine, like other machines. It takes input as a raw data and perform some processing, giving out giving out the processed data as an output. And therefore the input unit takes the data from us, uh, and make them organized. First of all, in the computer it make the organization, properly organize the manner of data, and then processing also. So this way inputs is being handled in the computer. Okay, then comes the point, storage. Now what is the storage? We know, as I told you earlier, or you know it better, when you take a new device, either it is phone or laptop or desktop or any uh, gadget any gadget, then we first of all see how much processing capacity it has and the storage capacity of that gadget. So this is basically the storage capacity of the gadget. So in the process of saving the data instructions permanently is known as storage. Now the data has to be fed into the system before the actual processing starts. The data has to be fed into the system before the actual processing starts. Actual processing start होने से पहले ही हम उसको enter करते हैं. It is just because of processing speed of CPU is so fast that the data has to be provided to CPU with same speed. So CPU की speed हमारे data entry करने से बहुत ज़्यादा fast होती है, until and unless it has been slowed down by us by putting many files into it. So by that result it may come down with this speed. Otherwise it has its speed is more than our input entry. And therefore the data is first stored in the stored unit for faster access, and then पहले वो उसको स्टोर कर लेता है, देन वो उसको प्रोसेस करता है और क्रॉस चेक करता है द स्टोरेज यूनिट, और the finally जो प्राइमरी स्टोरेज यूनिट होता है which is basically designed to do basic functions. It provides the storage, storing the data, and the along with that it gives many instructions as well. It is like जब बुफे होता है तो हमारे सामने बहुत सारा खाना होता है, तो स्ट्रेट अवे हम बुफे की डिशेस से ही खाना खाना चालू नहीं करते, हम पहले उसको अपनी प्लेट में लेते हैं जो हमको खाना है, देन विल स्टार्ट ईटिंग इट. तो जो हमने उसको इनिशियली प्लेट में लिया दैट इज लाइक प्राइमरी स्टोरेज ऑफ द सिस्टम, पहले मैंने उसको वहाँ स्टोर किया, देन लुकिंग इट टू इट आई विल अरेंज इट, रोटी एक तरफ, चावल एक तरफ, दाल सब्जी रायता वट एवर इट हैज, स्वीट एंड ऑल. So उनको properly arrange करूँगा, then I'll start working on it, because then it will be very difficult, then it will be very easy to work upon. Otherwise छांटो बीटो करने में बहुत दिक्कत हो सकती है while working. तो first of all they'll arrange the it will arrange the input data, then it will act upon. So what kind of major functions storage unit performs is it all the data and instructions are stored there, storage unit में store होते हैं before and after processing, store होने process होने से पहले और process होने के बाद. Then intermediate results of processing are being also stored, और intermediate results जो हो रहे हैं वो भी store होते हैं. Then comes the processing, and what is processing we know, इनपुट और आउटपुट के बीच में जो होता है वो प्रोसेसिंग होती है. सिमिलरली इस डायग्राम को आप ऐसे याद कर सकते हो, नॉर्मली वी यूज टू से दो कान भगवान ने दिए हैं, एक इनपुट के लिए दूसरा आउटपुट के लिए, और बीच में ब्रेन है प्रोसेसिंग के लिए. सो इसको इस तरह से आप याद कर सकते हो कि जो बेसिक है इनपुट आउटपुट एंड सेंट्रल प्रोसेसिंग यूनिट दैट इज आवर ब्रेन. सो दिस वे, बट जितना स्टोर हो पाए उतना अच्छा है. हमारे ब्रेन से जितना आउटपुट निकल जाएगा दैट विल बी रियली हार्मफुल टू अस, because storage is the main advantage of our CPU. How much store you can, you should. Okay, finally let us see what is processing. The task of performing operations like in the form of arithmetic, in the form of logic operations also. If this happens, then what will happen? If this not happens, then what will happen? This is basically the processing. What exactly it is? The task of performing operations like arithmetic and logic operations is called processing. Now this comes the central processing unit, will take the data along with instruction from the storage unit. As we studied that first data will get stored, the data and the instruction attached to it is stored, it will be stored, and then it will be taken up by CPU and make all sort of calculations as per the instructions given. Then the type of data provided will again be stored in the same unit, and at the output end in the next point that will be dispatched to the result end, output end, and in the same format or form where it is desired, or which it is desired. Now next one is the output. As I earlier discussed with you, what is output? This is the process of producing results from that data. Okay, so it has been already produced in processing part itself, so it is producing results, not it is producing results from the data for getting useful information. Okay, what is an output? It is an useful information as per the and input data and the instructions given to the system. So what at the output, what we are getting the useful informations in our format or as we desire the results. Similarly, the output produced by the computer after processing must also be kept somewhere inside the computer before given to you in human readable form. Again, the output is also stored in the computer or system for further processing also, because whatever we do, that is also being stored in the system as well. हमने कोई काम किया तो ऑलरेडी वो हमको सेव करता है और सेव के लिए मांगता भी है. लाइक एंसर्स वगैरह में हम देखें तो डेटा मान इन टर्म्स ऑफ डायमेंशंस हम देते हैं, पिक्चर्स हम देते हैं, हम ड्रॉ करते हैं और फिर उस पर हम बाउंड्री कंडीशंस वगैरह लगा के मैशिंग वैशिंग करते हैं. देन वील क्लिक ऑन टू गेट रिजल्ट्स. तो मैंने प्रोसेस करो, गेट रिजल्ट्स करो, तो वो रिजल्ट्स हमको सेव भी करके देता है या हमको सेव करने का ऑप्शन देता है. सो दैट अगेन बैक टू इट्स बेसिक फ्रेम और बेसिक 2D मॉडल पे हम भी हमको चेंज कर सकते हैं या उन आए हुए रिजल्ट्स पे भी फर्दर एक्शन कर सकते हैं. सो दैट इज द ब्यूटीफुलनेस ऑफ आउटपुट एज अ रिजल्ट. Then comes the control unit. Now, what is that control unit? What is that control? The control, the manner, the instruction has given, which has been executed, and with the above operations or the operations given are being performed. Now, controlling all the operations like input, then comes the processing and output are being performed by the control unit. All this comes under the control unit. It needs control on all three major functions of the computer, and it takes care of step-by-step processing of all operation inside the computer. Now, say suppose in order to carry out the operations mentioned in the previous section, say in order to carry out the operations mentioned in the previous section, the computer allocates the task between its various functional units. Now, computer has some major functional units. What are those? It is divided into three separate sections or functional units for its operation purpose. First one is arithmetic logic unit, and next one is control unit, and third one is the central processing unit. So these were the three I was talking about: arithmetic logic unit, control unit, and central processing unit. Now we will study those. What are those? What are those? The first one is the ALU, that is arithmetic logic unit. Arithmetic, we can understand it deals with mathematical calculation. Okay, Raju Ali. It deals with arithmetic arithmetic data calculations. जैसे ही हम डेटा एंटर करते हैं थ्रू दैट इनपुट डिवाइस, इनपुट में क्या क्या है, कीबोर्ड है, माउस है, ये सारे क्या है इनपुट डिवाइसेस हैं. इनके थ्रू हम डेटा स्टोर करते हैं और पेन ड्राइव्स हैं और जो भी एक्सटर्नल एजेंसीज हैं वो भी इनपुट में आती हैं. So the input device, it is stored in the primary storage unit. जैसे हमने डिस्कस किया था पहले, वो प्राइमरी स्टोरेज यूनिट में जाते हैं, प्राइमरी स्टोरेज यूनिट में जाते हैं. Then the major functions, major operations being performed by the arithmetic logic unit are addition, subtraction, multiplication, divisions, then logic operations, then comparison. So this much operations being done under this ALU. Now then a data is transferred to ALU from storage unit. Who's there now? Now data is transferred to ALU from storage unit until and unless we require it. It is going to be store in the storage unit after doing this much. Until and unless we want to retrieve it, it won't come up. After processing, that output is returned back to storage unit, as I told you, which is for further processing or uh, storage only, purpose of storage only. Okay, then comes the control unit. What is the control unit? The which is the this is the next function or next component of the computer is control unit. Now, which what it does? It acts like a supervisor. Okay, it acts like a supervisor and supervising the things, like whether it is being done in a proper manner or not. The control unit is really responsible for coordinating various operations using time and signal. It is like every system, every department has controlling control unit. That is, our HOD is also a control unit to us. It is only supervising whether whatever work I have assigned them, they are doing it properly or not, or on the timely भी complete हो रहा है कि नहीं. So this is kind of a control unit in our physical world also. Now the control unit determines the sequence in which computer programs and instructions are being executed. Control unit जो हमारे HOD हैं वो देखते हैं कि whether the kind of instructions what we have given, whether everyone is following the same this thing instructions or the same sequence of instructions or not, so that जो result चाहिए, जैसा desired result होना चाहिए वैसा है कि नहीं. Now the things like processing of programs stored in main memory, interpretation of those instructions, issuing of signals for other units of the computer to execute them. It is a very required proactive line for the system to work. It also acts as a switchboard operator when several users access the program simultaneously, thereby it coordinate the activity of computer's peripheral equipment as they perform the input and output. It is like when it is not the control unit, that is our HOD has only one person to handle. He has lots of work to do by himself also, and you know 20 21 faculties are there, and he has to manage each and every one, and he has to monitor the the work of each and every person, although everybody may be doing the same time the same kind of work or various kind of activities everyone has to follow. So parallelly he has to take care of each and every one, and he has to answer each and every one while working upon the same thing. So this kind of randomness will occur for a control unit also. Now this last one is central processing unit. Now what is central processing unit? It contains the ALU and the CU of a control system, that is arithmetic logic unit and control unit of a computer system are jointly working as a central processing unit. So you may call upon like CPU is the brain of the computer. We know just from school time, we know CPU is the brain of the computer system, and it is just a brain that take up the all the major decisions and making all sort of calculations, and directly different parts of computer functions by activating, by controlling the operations, everything that has to be done by CPU. Now the computer depends upon the program fed into it. We know it is primarily computer program has to be done, because where by which basis, on which basis data has to be processed. So we know for processing we need a program, है ना. हमारे हम जब खाना खाते हैं तो हमारी बॉडी में खाना गया और एनर्जी मिलने लगेगी, तो ऐसा तो है नहीं, क्योंकि एक प्रोग्राम ऑलरेडी हमको भगवान के द्वारा फीड करके मिला हुआ है जो खाने को अपने आप पचाता है. दैट इज ऑलरेडी फेड वाइल, और बर्थ के साथ ही वो हमारे साथ सारे प्रोग्राम्स हमारे शरीर में आते हैं, इनपुट डेटा हमारे पास जाता है, एनर्जी बनती है, स्टोर होता है एंड हमको काम करने की क्षमता मिलती है। तो सिमिलर फैशन कंप्यूटर को भी हमको पहले प्रोग्राम देना होता है मैन्युअली, है ना, देन वो उस हिसाब से प्रोसेस कर पाता है। जैसा कि हमने डिस्कस किया, द कंप्यूटर सिस्टम विल आल्सो प्रोसेस द डेटा which which we have given input into the computer for the desired form of in the desired form of result as output, and whatever change may occur in the conditions will be same with the output also, and therefore it is also therefore it is known as closed system. Okay, so in the next class we will okay one in the next class we will see also the law of requisite variety. This is also a direct topic of your syllabus. We will see that also in the next class. Okay, so I'll call it a day from my side. If you have any doubts, queries, and questions, you can ask me now or in the next class also.